Fallon here. Clem,
Here.
Lamson.
Here.
Zoe,
Here.
Ryder,
Here.
DeGarrick.
Here. Okay, we reform. One council person absent. Okay, minutes from the June 22nd, 26th meeting. Think we got electronically or in front of them, any errors or corrections or additions? I'm not for motion to accept. Motion by Bob Lamson. And by John DeGarrett, the minutes from June 22nd of 26 be accepted as presented. All in favor, consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Those of any, motion carried. Okay. Citizens and public comment on agenda items. Yes, sir. Step up to the podium, please state your name.
David Charnico, Valley Forge.
Okay,
What's going on with the garbage? You missed it.
You missed it. You're just about a half hour late.
Really?
it's at 6:30.
Guy told me from over there was started 7 o'clock.
Who told you?
Joe.
Our meetings normally start at 7 o'clock, but we had a work session advertised
About
and we
this.
put it out to the public for 6:30. So on the upside, to answer your question, because I'm assuming your garbage hasn't been picked up, and
Correct.
guys, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know we bounced some dates. He will be back in town on Wednesday to get your trash or recycling that was missed in Valley Gorge. He also spoke with the community, the borough council, and they're taking it under advisement about changing the day altogether to Wednesdays moving forward. That won't happen immediately. Should the council vote in favor of doing that, you would get a letter, there'd be a process, and it probably wouldn't be until early September that it would take effect, is my understanding, should they vote that way. So we're in the process of possibly moving the day, but
Okay,
right
so it's
now,
coming Wednesday and the following week's gonna be on a Monday or is everything?
right now,
Yes.
it'll all be Mondays, but this week, since you were missed, put it out for Wednesday,
Yes.
okay?
We apologize any inconvenience, but there's a lot of, our garbage hauler claimed that he had a new driver on vacation time or whatever and stuff. That's why he had a problem today.
Okay,
He didn't quite know the routes.
yeah, so, yeah, okay.
But we are more on top of it, put it that way, because a lot of residents in town, recycling was done, garbage was done, this wasn't, it turned out to be a process for the past week.
Okay, well, I wanna know.
We are on top of it.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you,
well
sir.
done.
Thank you.
Thank
Hate
you.
to never, I guess.
Okay, any other public comment on agenda items? Yeah, now we'll move right along here. Okay, Linda, engineer.
The engineer was out, he took measurements on Chemung Street, he's going to be getting all the bid documents out, we will be awarding in August for paving to happen in September. He also gave me a couple of things under the consent agenda, one being to adopt the resolution to apply for another round of multimodal grant money for Main Street, for the streetscape, and to approve Benish to be our engineer for bidding and proposal design for the money we were awarded from LSA for the $166,000 for the paving and fixing of Powerhouse Road. He would be paid out of that grant $16,650, but that'll be a little later in the agenda.
Okay, you on that, well, okay. That's all we have?
That's it.
Okay. Attorney,
Yes, thank you. And I just want to announce that before our work session today at 6 o'clock, we had an executive session for personnel/contract matters. The first thing I have is just to finish up some of these old business ordinances and resolutions we were working on, which is probably perfect timing because we'll have something new to advertise soon, so maybe we can advertise everything together. We have the change to the code of ordinances, just an amendment to fix some of the verbiage that we had. We talked about this one. This is the one with ambulance service, where we're basically dictating their fees and collection practices and whatnot. This basically takes us out of it. So fire and EMS. I mean, we do have, are still supporting them, but billing, collections, enforcement, I put in, we don't enforce it, they'll be enforcing it, but we are at least supporting them with whatever we can do in terms of, reports or reasonably assist the organization in pursuing their lawful charges. But I think that's a proper amendment to the code of ordinances to make sure that we're out of, shouldn't be dictating how the private volunteer organizations are collecting, not collecting. We got rid of that provision that was kind of questionable about collections against persons that live in the borough. Not that they want to do that, and they can establish their own, whatever boot drive program or membership programs, whatever. It just will have nothing to do with us. So we're out of that business. The second one being the rental registration ordinance. We've been working on this for a few months, just trying to clean up some of the language here, so we can be in compliance with that recent Supreme Court decision regarding basically forced inspections or certificate of occupancy inspections. The final amendments that I did, I was able to put into a section regarding, we talked about when the tenant says no to an inspection, the landlord says yes. I have a provision for that in there now. The self-inspections happen to be provided to both the borough and the tenant, so the tenants are aware of, if somebody decides to do a self-inspection, they're going to be aware as to what the landlord might be fibbing about. So that's a requirement in ordinance now. The voluntary inspections for vacant apartments, address that. I also put in a provision that if you put, now this is more for the resolution, of course, but if you also put in your lease that are basically as a contractual relationship between you and your tenant, you're allowing the borough to conduct these inspections. There'd be a slight reduction on the fee as well, but that's in the resolution. I could not put an owner occupied exemption in there, but I did take a look at that, but that's it's owner occupied exemption. There's no exemption. It's still volunteers, voluntary inspection, or you self-inspect. So I think I hit all of the topics that we were discussing at the last meeting.
So they're ready for adoption tonight?
Well, not adoption tonight.
To be advertised.
Gotta advertise.
Okay.
What I can do is, if council, I also have the resolution, we don't need to advertise that, but the resolution, and I just needed a slight guidance from council on this one. So I put down just the basic fees, so a rental registration and compliance. 150 for the one rental, 250, 350, 450, 5 or more, it's 100 a unit. You do the voluntary inspection and your certificate of occupancy. That's 120 for one, 180 for two, 240 for three, 280 for four, 65 for 5 or more, that's per unit. And if you put the rental lease inspection provision, that's another incentive. I need council approval for this, but I knocked it down another $10 for the fees.
Nice.
Well,
Better than the pudding.
Well, it's up to council. I just put it in here as a draft. It's not a final decision, but. So if you have in your rental, agreement.
Wired to stand be our president.
That you're gonna require a tenant upon reasonable notice to provide access to the borough for inspections, then you're, I just took it down 10, but I wasn't sure what council wanted to do, so. If you voluntarily do the inspection, there's about a $30 difference in your inspection fees. But if you also would like that incentive in there, I just put it was another $10 off, but
Is that 20?
well, I'm good with that.
you have to, of course, prove that to the borough that your lease actually has the provision that you're required by as a tenant to let the borough do the inspections. We haven't changed anything. The police hourly rate is still the hourly rate for special assignments, traffic control events, the language we had talked about. So that resolution should be ready to go.
It could be advertised, right?
Yes, and so it's two ordinances and when we get to the discussion about the garbage.
Yeah, well, that's another one after that. We'll do these three first.
We can do those all together.
Or you have it back in the back. Melissa.
I didn't put it in the back because I didn't know if they were ready.
Okay, so I can do this now then.
If you are looking for a motion to advertise and plan the hearing, you can do that now.
Yeah.
I'll make that.
Make a motion by Julie Fallon, second by Zane Ryder to advertise the two ordinances
Yes, they,
and
yeah,
one resolution.
don't need to advertise the resolution, just the two words.
Just the two ordinances for adoption at the September
You have to have a
second
hearing
meeting.
first, right?
Yes.
Very first one, okay? Roll call vote, please.
Fallon,
Yes.
Clem,
Yes.
Lamson,
Yes.
Zoke,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Zagarek.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried, or advertise the ordinance for adoption and our August meeting, correct? Okay,
Yes, no, it's going in Journal Herald.
Okay.
Hard to believe, right?
August already, yeah. Okay, that's it, Sean?
One more thing I wanted to bring up, very quick.
Yeah.
Not that it's a complicated subject or anything, but our zoning ordinance does not have any provision for data centers. Read the papers recently or watched the TV recently, you've probably seen that the data centers are it's a
Yeah.
fun topic, a lot of good vibes, and it's a lot of really reasonable people getting together and discussing things, so we probably should.
Yeah,
You
Nick
know-
will need to be at that council meeting.
I don't know if
There's a
we have to
penalty.
pursue this, we have no room to put one anyhow, wasn't it?
Yeah. Where would we put it?
That's what I said, we have no room to put it.
That and put it right next to Lehigh and get
Yeah.
permission to pump out of Lehigh.
This actually came from Blueprint when we were out in Erie. Julie brought it up to our attention. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but what if somebody walks in and offers $100 million to the monastery to leave?
Oh, yeah,
Then we have a problem, because there's nothing we're gonna do
exactly.
I think it's better to be precautionary.
and have something in our zoning.
Absolutely. And I think at this point with Foster and Dennison and many of the surrounding,
And so close to.
they've already done so much of this legwork. I mean, some of us have attended some of these other meetings. I
Yes.
think we can essentially look at some of
Can't
those
hurt.
parameters, bring them over to our side and just.
Well, where would the designated area be then? for?
Well, we have this piece down here behind the Journal Herald where the dump goes in the strip club. Maybe that's where the data center goes to.
But that puts it right over there when they said we can pump right out of the Lehigh.
Oh, that's something.
So you're actually benefiting them.
I don't.
But I don't know they have the
actually
acreage.
could Pump out of the Lehigh because isn't that protected waters, the Trout Street?
Hazelton pumps out of it.
It's the acreage that we'd have to look at.
There's something about our section that I think is
No.
environmentally protected. I have to look into it because it's.
Yeah.
And for the money they got, they can change that rule.
It's gonna be environment protection for sewage in there.
It's environmentally protected against specific types of discharges into
Okay.
the waters.
Okay.
Nothing, no suction.
About taking the fire.
So just, I subscribe to the Keystone, which is our daily newsletter about news around the Commonwealth. Down in Salem Township, which is one of the ones that have been talked about so much.
Where they bought all that property.
The company was, Quality Technology Services is owned by an investment company by the name of Blackstone. They bought 1,700 acres for an average of $330,000 per acre. The average earned per landowner was 5.5 million. The total sale was 586 million. That's not the best part. They are currently, the Wall Street Journal reports that another 200 landowners are currently in negotiations for another one down there for $1.3 billion total.
How could you refuse?
And they're sucking it right out of the Susquehanna.
And so, you know,
Thank you.
I mean, I understand how this all looks from an environmental standpoint, and do I want that stuff next to my house? No, but this is like changing money for people.
Yeah.
So-
Think about, it. For what they spent, they could come in and buy Whitehaven.
Oh, absolutely.
They could, oh, yeah.
I agree.
They have
that
the
it's
money.
like changing money for people. but it's for a small handful of people.
Small handful of people, right?
And the rest of the residents
Right.
are stuck next to the
The
noise.
people on the other side of the street got nothing.
Yes,
Right.
and so I think
I know.
when we look at this as a whole, we're protecting our residents as a whole.
Yeah.
And so while
Good way to put it.
I understand that this could financially benefit a few people very, very much, it's not something I want to saddle the rest of my community.
So I can see this conversation being one that we're gonna have ad nauseum, and it's gonna prolong our meetings probably for hours, but
Yes,
what do you, can you, I've been rocking around zoning for a long, long time. But I don't understand what an overlay district is.
What an overlay district is.
Yes.
Basically what you work with the engineer and planning commission and borough council, and you're able to find an area that might not include just so if you just say the industrial district, the I district. You're opening yourself up for challenges if there's not enough acreage, if there's not, and it doesn't matter who owns it, doesn't own it, whatever, I mean, there's ways around it. If you don't have, or if you think there might be a challenge because there's just not enough land in the I district or open space district or conservation, whatever, you can actually create and just be like a little zoning district, purple, and then figure out exactly, cross over multiple districts or two districts, whatever. And that is where those uses would be permitted. There's an application process, there's a whole approval process. You have to be approved to just, it's almost like a planned residential development. It's like another subsection of the zoning ordinance. You have to be approved to even be in that, let's call it the industrial overlay district for that use, for data centers.
Where does the approval process start for those kinds of things? Would it start here at this table, or does it start like a typical land development does at the planning commission?
Meaning, well, if we create a zoning, or if we create that, it would all be you guys for creating a data center amendment to the zoning ordinance and for creating, if we wanted to, an overlay district. All with you guys. The process for applying to be in that overlay district, though, depending on how we draft it, it would go first to borough council to approve the use of that overlay district, and then, of course, the zoning hearing for, unless you want to make it a conditional use. It's a conditional use that you guys decide everything. There would be no,
Maybe set it up the way we set up Standard Farms. Excuse me, Sean. If you remember, we went back through the zoning and made an adjustment that if they were to expand, they skip right over the zoning because you guys got we dealt with all the complaints, after the fact. So it would come to you
The
first.
planning process would start here at this table.
That's probably not a bad idea because then you also have the ability to add more.
Do we want Sean to start the process on this?
and Sean,
We can
just
talk about it for hours.
if we don't have an overlay district in place, or if we don't have ordinances that essentially limit, say, water draw or noise or, any of those things, setbacks, et cetera. Technically, a data center, and I know we're very small, but could come in and say, none of these things are in place. So at the point that we come in and express interest, you cannot begin that process of putting those in, correct?
correct,
Because then we are essentially,
Being discriminated
yes,
against.
against them. So we have to
We're
have
not
this
allowed to do
done
that either.
well beforehand. Okay, so precautionary, all around, it's just precautionary.
or you just look like kind of things that are happening in Columbia County where they're just looking for municipalities that have their pants down.
Yep.
And if you run in there with your application for, you say, okay, your ordinance says that any use that's not addressed in the zoning ordinance is permitted by special exception in the conservation district. And they come in with an application. Once that application hits Linda's desk and is processed with the fee, we're doing a hearing with virtually no regulations other than whatever would apply to an industrial use or a general industrial use, nothing specialized, of course. And that would be, instead of to you guys, that would be to the zoning hearing.
I can't speak for all of council, but I'm in huge support of beginning this process.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah.
Okay,
I would rather be.
So how does the statewide moratorium, where does that stand?
I don't think that's something that I know Representative Walsh has been talking about, but what happened in Butler, it hasn't passed yet. They thought they were gonna get everybody another 6 months, another 180 as a moratorium, but that hasn't passed. I think they went out of session too. So unless they do something when they go back in session, that's not on the table. We would have to do what they did in Butler, what they've done in a lot of municipalities. We're probably not in a situation where we need to do a municipal curative amendment, but the municipal curative amendment would technically put a 180-day moratorium on any data center application, so nobody can catch us with our pants down.
That's our first process, right? That's our starting.
Well, I honestly didn't know.
What's the cost of
So
this?
25 acres, they're looking for smallest.
For a 1 square mile town, what's the cost of this?
It would be cheap. I'm gonna do my best. I mean, I'm using stuff that, I'm working in a couple of different municipalities that have done them or are doing them currently, so it's not gonna be, a couple hours work, 12 hours of work, right?
But just, and, cause, Julia mentioned it. If we put ordinances in against sound, water usage, everything else, but make it for the entire borough, would that do the exact same thing?
That would be really tough in terms of zoning enforcement, because the kind of sound and water usage regulations we would want for an industrial use like a data center wouldn't apply to bakery or some of the
Okay.
just made it borough wise.
I was thinking, is there an easier way to, do it?
Blanket.
I think our sound ordinance, the sound ordinance typically say, any sound louder than 80 decibels that extends beyond the boundary of the site is not allowed.
Why can't we do that for
But you realize 80 decibels that's not silence.
that's nowhere near silence.
No, at 80 decibels, a motorcycle going by.
That's your
80 decibels,
motorcycle.
That's not bad, but this is 80 decibels.
Continually.
Always.
Right.
The other thing that's coming up, and I mean, I've unfortunately been reading a lot on this, is it's not necessarily even sound. They're calling it, it's not sound, it's like a vibration.
Right.
It's like a constant vibration and droning. And so people that are near these, they're saying, how do you even enforce this? It's not following sound category.
I put vibration is allowed to escape the property.
Thank you.
While you're working this for us, could you email us what Butler's looking at, just so you guys have something to read?
I think it's, I want to say 48 pages right now.
Fun reading.
You can read it.
Yes.
Nice light weekend reading.
Hey, Sean, that's your job.
It might answer some questions. I
Yes.
mean, we're all hearing about it. We're getting it in every direction, so.
See, what I see about this, and I'm gonna just procrastinate a little bit here. This is an engineering issue. This sound, the vibration, all of that stuff that's the downside of these data centers. It's all an issue that could be solved by engineering. There's an adage in engineering, there's no problem can't be solved if you don't throw enough money, if you throw enough money at it. So sound can be contained, vibration can be contained, but it's not cheap.
To Bob's point, we were at Blueprint. There was a gentleman who very, very high in the technological fields, and he actually said to the group he was presenting to, happened to be in the room, that technology is moving at such an advanced rate that at the point that small communities, like what we were dealing with, here and around here, the technology is already bypassed. Like, we're going to get these data centers by the time they're built here. I mean, he already said Google has, I forget what he called them, but they're basically a high processing, high advanced data center that can put out far more at much greater containment and speeds. And so they're not using as much energy, they're not using as much water draw, but they have yet to release that technology. But it's processing so fast in recent years that we may end up with these data centers being built and being out of date.
And being out of date.
And now we're back with that.
Yeah.
Right, so
You need
just a little concern, like, wipe out all the environmental concerns. So many of these small communities may get saddled with these, and then it's literally an eyesore, it's a land use, it's how do you deal with it? How do you get rid of it? How do you move on? And that's not fair. That happens in so many lower income regions.
You look at the footprint of what data centers are in Archibald Borough, their plan. The footprint of the data centers exceeds the footprint of the residential area.
That's disturbing.
They're planning like, 45, Archibald's not a big municipality. No. I mean, my daughter's friends with the people that are like spearheading that back up there.
But everybody wants their cell phones or everything else.
Everybody thought when nuclear power plants get started, that was the end of the world. We're still here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's a moratorium on new of those too.
Yes.
There should be more of them though.
Okay, Sean, start the process, see what you can do.
Yeah.
Okay,
I will look forward to this conversation for a while.
yeah, okay, we can talk about this in a minute.
What's that?
I'll wait till you see the people it draws.
Well, let's make it clear for everybody we're fighting it. We're not entertaining them coming here.
We can't say that out loud.
And they
Can't
don't
say that.
believe you.
No.
You just say data.
They hear
I
data.
can take your question at the end of the meeting.
Not a question, just a state.
It's at the end of the
It's just to
meeting.
weed out the people that don't believe we're not in favor of it.
Right.
Not that we're not, you know what I'm saying? There's no, we're not, or yes in
We
favor,
don't
or
have
not
a
in
state.
favor. We're going to use regulations to make sure if it comes here, it is.
Our community protected.
Safe and environmentally friendly.
I
workplace.
actually like how Julie worded it, that we're looking out for the whole community. And if the, you know, how it would impact the entire community. It's a good way to word it,
Okay.
which I guess I'll start wording tomorrow. As soon as it goes out, well, Thursday, as soon as it hits the Journal Herald.
Yeah, your phone will be blowing up.
We'll be moving from garbage to that, but that's okay. I'm prepared.
Okay, moving along.
Nice piece of paper.
Managers report.
What's your pleasure about trash day?
Cash day moving from Monday to Wednesday.
I don't see I don't have an issue with it.
No, go
Need a
ahead.
motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Johnson Garrett, second by Julie Fallon, to move trash collection day from Monday
And
to Wednesday of every week.
to advertise the ordinance update and all that
And all the things
fun
that go
stuff that we talked about.
Okay.
You got
Yeah,
that?
because
Is that on hold the phone?
Yeah, Sean,
Yeah.
amending.
We're moving it to Wednesdays, except on holidays, then it'll be moved to Thursday.
Yeah.
Right,
Holiday week.
Summer holiday or whatever.
so it still moves a day, just like it did on Mondays.
And till we get it worked out, this will take effect maybe September
Oh, yeah.
First week.
second, right?
I think that was the first one.
Yeah.
Well, this is advertising an ordinance amendment? Is that what we're doing?
Well, for the no park,
Well, right, but that's gonna be the up and all this thing, so.
we can,
We can get it on, we can get it advertised for adoption and.
Yeah, we don't have to have an ordinance to change the contract.
Right.
Just an amendment.
Just an amendment.
We just can't enforce that part, that street parking until the ordinance goes through.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so,
Right. So
That
you could
makes sense
still
to wait
even
till
change the
September.
day. We'll just have to take the signs down, that's all.
Okay.
Well, if we time it out to September.
It would work perfect,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he seemed to say 4 or 5 weeks.
Right.
That's timeline's right.
What motion are we looking for?
All of that.
That.
Okay.
I didn't see that.
Roll call vote, please.
hold on. Need something, Sean? Well, I just want to, so we're out advertising the no parking on Northumberland Street to amend that. We're amending.
The contract.
Amending the contract.
Mhm.
So there'll be a resolution. We can amend the contract or do an addendum to the contract by resolution. But that doesn't need to be advertised. That'll just be on the.
Okay.
We square with everything.
Mhm.
Roll
Okay.
call vote, please.
Fallon,
Yes.
Clem,
Yes.
Lamson,
Yes.
Zoe,
yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Zagarek.
Yes.
Okay, so done. All righty, tax collection. Anything else? No, I'm sorry.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Tax collections listed on the agenda, code enforcement reports on file. Street commissioner, he's not available to attend. Anything you have, Zane, to add?
Yes, I would like to say, I know they're not here, but thank you to all the borough employees that helped out through the weekend and were rock stars. That I saw the amount of people, you know, I wasn't down here at night, putting the kiddos to bed and stuff, but I heard it and it sounded wonderful. And when I was down here seeing everyone working, it was awesome to see.
I mean, all the departments of the borough.
Yes, every borough
Police,
employee.
the fire, the
every
streets.
single one.
Everybody, the borough manager, everybody did such a phenomenal job. I mean, it was like Bloomsburg Fair walking down the Midway Main Street.
Thank you for the Loser County Sheriff's
And the sheriff department to,
What a ball.
chief, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Everything.
I know they did.
And I would also like to add,
And the Chamber of Commerce too, they spearheaded this whole
thanks to
operation.
Wagner for opening the off-ramp.
Was that not a nice gift?
As a regular commuter to the Poconos, thank you. But it probably half the traffic coming through town, which was a big plus.
So it wasn't a
There was
good
a
one.
lot.
We had to get the people.
Yeah.
We started talking to people, there was a lot of people about, there was a bunch of people coming from
Yeah.
Lakes, Lake, the Albrightsville area, so that's great to see.
A group from Jim Thorpe, which we
Fantastic.
love that when we hear
Yeah.
they're coming from Jim
Come up
Thorpe.
here, hang with us.
Lancaster Lidditz.
Yes.
Okay,
And kudos to the people that were interviewed on WAP. They did a very nice job.
We
Yes.
got some time with Congressman Reginald.
Yeah, how do you get up here? Do you see it on TV? Did you just
We,
go in or?
when Chuck got his Veterans Award that he was presented in Wilkes-Barre, he was there. And so they invited him and gave him the jam stickers. And his wife kept the sticker because she even had it with her on Saturday, and they told us that day they'd be here, and they were here. It was really cool. So we thanked him for coming to town, and he got a big tour, and he looked at our master streetscape plan and asked a bunch of questions about grants, and we were handed the business card of the guy that does the letter writing for them. And it was all good stuff. Yes. Alan Stout was able to stop in and visit with us for a little while, which was surprising because he had Rocking the River, the Jam, and Rocking the Mountain. But he did make a point of popping through and seeing what was going on, and motion advertising was way huger this year, and I think that, I mean, everybody was laughing at me, but I think we easily had 5,000 people at the event.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was 5,000 cars here.
Felt it, didn't it?
Yeah.
I said, I drove by Timmy's house and said he should have opened up his yard. He could have sold parking spots.
Yeah, right behind the church, that whole thing was packed. All along the church was packed.
They were up Susquehanna.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
everywhere.
The library lot was filled.
Yeah.
Next year, we have to make sure we put it out to some of the trail groups too, because they were trying on social media to direct traffic down to us, trail cyclists, so I think next year.
I'll add it to the list, and I know we're working on a train from Pittston too.
Okay. Police chief. And police committee.
After all of that, you might not want to be working the weekend of the Jam next year.
Just real quick, we had no incidents during the jam. We had a smooth integration with all the emergency services that were here. Everybody helped out every which way, transitioning with the commerce for safety measures we did on the fly. Everything went really nice there. And we came up with some better plans for organization between everybody for next year to eliminate some of our little hiccups we had. But other than that, that was great. Our incidents and everything are on the sheet for you. That's all I got.
Francis, you want or
Yeah.
dam contract?
So I'd like to propose, or I guess I can make the motion, to enter into a contract with the Francis C. Walter Dam regarding police protection. The police protection will cover the Whitehaven Bear Creek entrance road to the operating tower, day use picnic area on the Luzerne County side, administration building and operating compound area, spillway and parking way. This will be a 12-hour per week, 2-hour per day, with the exception of Saturday and Sunday. That'll each only be 1 hour.
Ruth can't type that fast.
I'll give her a copy of it. This ain't the contract. I can give her a copy of this. We'll be doing that 12 hours a day for the year for $47,925 with a 3% increase each year that we decide to continue the contract. So I'll make the motion to enter into it.
Can we add to the motion that John can sign the contract and that I can handle any paperwork and
There you go.
billing that has to come?
Okay, sounds good. Whatever. Have a second to the motion,
I'll second that.
seconded by Bob Lamson. Roll call vote, please.
Fallon,
Yeah,
Clem,
Yes.
Lamson.
Yes.
Zoe,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Zager.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Now we're working for Donald Trump. Okay, what else?
Now they were getting paid by Donald Trump. And we are.
I guess we are. That's a way to look at it.
Yeah, that's a tough.
John, before I gave her the scope of work, is that fine? I didn't give her the contract.
No, that's.
Okay. Moving along, fire department, the report is on file, ambulance report is on file. Building and ground, working on that bungalow up there, what's going on?
I think we kind of stalled with the jam.
I
Yeah.
did talk to a gentleman at the gym, Ryan Contracting. He's supposed to get with Sean and give us a price. His only hesitation is he's not worried about the I guess the lumber work for that. He's just never worked with like metal door jams, so he wanted to take a look at it before he gave us.
I know Sean did contact, he was up there measuring and stuff, but he never got back to Sean with the price or anything.
Well, this is a new contractor.
That's what I'm saying, this
We
wasn't
didn't
that-
hear
that
back
was-
from Darren, we didn't hear back from, yeah. So,
Okay. So then we'll get it done this year yet before, because the money in the budget for that, that's the only eyesore up there.
I moved it to the savings account so that we were sure we had it, because I didn't want to lose the project. Yeah.
Finance, our financial man is out ill at the time. Recreation, recreation.
Yeah, nothing at this time. We haven't been able to meet the past month or two because of vacations and everything else. But hopefully we'll be getting back to it.
Okay. It's good. Water, 948,600 gallons of water sold for June. Consent agenda items, that resolution number 10 of 2023, applying for multi-model grant for Main Streetscape. Motion to approve Benish Engineering proposal for the design and bidding of paving for section of Powerhouse Road. The amount of $16,650. Total grant of $166,623 for construction and engineering. They're on these separately, or both at once?
Well, you can do both.
What?
You can do both. It's advertised on the consent agenda.
I will make by Dave Ryder
I'll second it.
and by Jonathan Garrett to adopt resolution number 10 and approve Venice Engineering for proposal and design for paving of section of Powerhouse Road. All in favor consent by saying item. Say aye. Those of any, motion carried. Okay, approval of monthly bills, the amount of $43,238.18, liquid fuel, $1,364.78, and garbage. Oh, you signed a big one. $14,713.02. Motion pay the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Motion by Bob Lamson. Second by Julie Fallon to pay the bills. All in favor, consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Those of any, motion carried. Any comment from the public on non-agenda items? Show your hand up before.
Yes. Julie Fallon was right. There is a new trend now. That's what ahead of the curve while you're addressing data centers. It's called a mini data center. You buy a large house, you know what I'm talking about, or a large building, but not what you're thinking. Upgrade the electric system and put a data center in it. And this creates the same kind of noise, the same kind of problems, except now it's the size of a two-story house. And it's in a community or residential, so you might want to address that because the ordinance doesn't address it directly. They speak in. That's what I wanted to say. That's all. I will get ahead of her.
No, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
They just keep morphing.
I wasn't being rude. I couldn't take you before. But this is amazing.
That is now the newest trend. They see the public outcry against them, but they still want to put data centers in small communities.
And we have to go by the rules, you know.
So they'll buy a house, gut the house, put a 400 amp service in, now it's a data center.
Nick. National Night Out?
Where's that?
Oh,
Yes. Step up, please, and state your name.
I'm going to go on, so, just want to, thank you for allowing me to be here, just
was, thank you.
Are you a
Thank
resident?
you.
Where do you live, in Whitehaven?
He's a Northumberland.
Yeah, he's on Northumberland.
Thank you very much.
Nice job, Alex.
Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it. Maybe some of you own the one for Tom too.
Here's hoping.
So
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to piggyback on what my son was saying, Scout. I don't know if you're aware that if Troop 25 does not have at least 3 cubs, that they might have to hold. So one of the things that I was hoping for, I was talking to Mr. King before we came here, was that we were trying to look for other ways to, besides going on Facebook and, you know, posting pictures and things like that, Jam on the Dam, is there any way something like that can be done for us, that we can just have, maybe activities for little ones to introduce them to scouts at a young age? Even though we would not be, selling any food or anything else like that.
Is it something you'd want to do in the park? Because you could, I mean, are you saying the Boy Scouts want to hold some kind of little event that they could draw some kids in?
Right, and like that dam would have been wonderful. But Mr. King was told that you had to have a license to sell food, which we weren't doing.
Because of the food trucks.
Right,
Yeah.
and any help would be wonderful to include the scouts.
Do you think that you,
Maybe,
okay.
that's,
Could something even at the kids zone next?
what,
That's all possible, but I think they need something new, more
like that,
sooner than next year.
Yeah.
And Nick had something to share anyway. Maybe there's a way to work it into
Yeah,
what Nick's working on.
I got sidetracked during my thing. The police, we're having our national night out August 14th at Lehigh Park from 5 to 8. There'll be a parade at 5. That's something that you'd be interested in, come with all the first responders with the scouts and set up with us.
That would be wonderful. You said that there's a parade of some kind.
Yeah, I'm organizing a parade. It's just. a
Parade around town?
Parade, yeah, I'm gonna have a parade come down through town and then, end up at the park. And then all the emergency vehicles be on display.
That
And
would be wonderful if I give you Mr. King's number.
yeah, I'll send them the information.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And when is this?
August 14th. It's a Friday.
You better get permission for the parade.
Yeah, that has to be on the agenda. That was my miss.
Oh,
You're doing something on the borough. It's the first time he's doing it, John.
Oh, no.
Not when he turns those lights on. You're good, chief.
Do your thing then. I don't care.
You know, he's been doing it for.
That was,
40
I wasn't
years,
even thinking
and
about it being so easy with the jam, but you're right. We should give him permission to have its event.
I mean,
Can we go outside and make that motion now?
Honestly, we can go off agenda. It's because.
yeah, because I just don't.
I make the motion to let him have it.
I will second it.
I will third. Fourth and fifth, we're done.
Have your event.
Okay.
Hey.
It was something that was,
fine.
but it's a thing that,
No, you're right, we should.
have to be. Put a role, the policies we have, not that. That's a big
It's good, John. You were right.
No, you're being
Don't
hard.
make everybody else do it.
Anybody else on non-agenda items? Ruth are pretty quiet, nothing from you. Motion adjourned. Yeah, we have to motion by Zane, second by Julie.
Yep.
All in favor?
I,
Those?
No, I want to stay here for another hour. This is just fun.
No on that one.